All right. Not necessarily your typical outside the octagon podcast going on right now. You know, Jude and I aren't able to be in the same area due to me moving out. Jude's been sick a little bit lately, not necessarily our typical drop date either. But we do have some very interesting topics for you guys. I'm the host here, Charleston Payne. If you haven't already gotten familiar with my face or haven't gotten to know me, now you do. And I guess as soon as he said something, you'll be hearing from Jude Starnes. So, Jude, how you doing, buddy?
Co-host back in the building, man. Been sick, like I said. Apologize for not getting the typical upload time, but been having some technical and physical issues here. So but we're back and ready. I don't think we're gonna miss another upload for the rest of the year. I think.
Oh yeah, we're on point from this point forward. You know, we tried to have an episode out on this past Friday. You had come out here to Baton Rouge to help me move some stuff and everything, and you just got sick as a dog. And by no means am I putting down on you or anything like that. I understand, you know, and hopefully the listeners do as well. But all is well outside the octagon is back, just maybe from a distance. It almost feels like COVID's happening again.
Yep. Don't blame me. Blame my body, man. My body was being a little, little Leon Edwards, huh?
Oh my God, man. Real talk. So I mean, I guess you kind of open it up with what we have to talk about off rip. But before we get there, follow us on Instagram. I'm probably not going to put it up anywhere, but it is at outside the octagon pod _. Just go give us a follow, Jude. Tell the people to follow us and why they should.
Hey, man, you need to follow us because we're the best podcast in the game. We also post all kinds of stuff on Instagram. We're going to do giveaways as soon as we reach our following goals. And you got to follow to make sure that you're there for those giveaways. And we're going to hopefully be posting some even more content and extra content on Instagram soon. And I'm hyped for that. And another thing I want to say is go check out Prowler Pickles. So best pickles in the game. They also have their new line of honey. Haven't tried them. They're not your ordinary honey pack. They are just honey. But, go give them a try for sure. And use code OTO.
Yeah, OTO10 for 10% off. www.prowlerpickles.com. Go check it out. Miranda Maverick runs a brand. Incredible person, incredible guest that we have on the podcast. I must also note, I know I've said that many times before, but incredible person, incredible guest. She just won her recent fight 2 weekends ago. Kurt Holloway won as well. Pretty incredible, you know, our kind of like our hometown hero for this whole MMA thing, you know, and he was able to go out there and get the big W and fought very well through and through throughout the entirety of that fight. But I think the one everybody wants to hear from us from, and the one that I really interested in talk about, and you probably are as well, is Belal. Remember the name Muhammad, man. And let me tell you something. Jude and I, before we even recorded this episode, we knew what we were talking about. The title of this episode is going to be Muhammad Maxing, because we're going to glaze the hell out of Belal Muhammad. I told you guys since the start that Belal Muhammad was going to beat Leon Edwards in the welterweight championship. Have I not said this since the beginning of Outside the Octagon?
And that's what I was going to say. Like, I mean, look, you want all the best picks, you got to listen Outside the Octagon. We've been right on so much stuff. We've been wrong on very few. And let me tell you, praises to Belal Muhammad, our savior, from Leon Edwards' reign. So let me just tell you, let me just show you this guy right here. Oh shit! It's blurring him. He's dangerous. He's so dangerous that they wouldn't even let him show. It wouldn't even let me show him.
I know, bro. So, it's one of those BMS, bro, that break my screens.
So couldn't even show him. But this guy right here is your champ, the people's champ. Well, I don't know about every people's champ, but he's our champ. He's got a special place in our hearts, man. And how about that decision win? I mean, a decisive decision. Not your ordinary decision. Greatest decision I've seen in all of my life.
Let me tell you this, bro. Like, I understand that this whole entire episode is pretty much based around glazing the hell out of Belal Muhammad, just because that's what people don't want to hear, but they're going to listen anyway, because we're the best damn MMA podcast in the world. What else are you going to do whenever you see OTO just dropped, But, I mean, the biggest thing is it was such, like, sure, everybody talks about, oh, Belal's boring. All he does is win by decision. But the way he got the decision on Leon was the most easily convincing decision that I've ever seen him hold. Yeah, by the third round, I'm pretty sure everybody knew okay, Bilal's going to be the new champion unless Leon gets a fluky head kick like he did against Kamaru in their second fight to become the welterweight champion. And something I have pulled up here from ESPN MMA, I know you guys are probably noticing I was kind of looking down on my phone and stuff. I'm sure YouTube keyboard, you know what's probably going to say something about it, me looking down and stuff. Listen, it's okay to go back and check up on something that you've seen in social media throughout the day, right? So I went back. This is what this post says. It says Leon Edwards hadn't lost an MMA fight in 9 years. Not only does it say that, when Leon Edwards lost his last MMA fight, Alex Pereira was 0-1 in the UFC. Conor McGregor was the featherweight champion of the world. Alexander Volkanovski had yet to make his featherweight debut. And on top of that, Michael Bisping had yet to touch 185-pound gold at the middleweight title. On top of that as well, this is just mind-blowing facts. Like you can't lie, Jude. This is stuff that really catches the eye. On top of that as well, McGregor versus Diaz had never happened. The last time Leon lost a fight. And Belal Muhammad comes in here and makes Leon Edwards look like Bobby Green. Like Belal made Leon look like he's just been a gatekeeper. But the realistic part of this is Leon's been holding the belt for the last few years, dude. Like Leon's had that belt. And he's been a convincing champion. Like people were convinced that there weren't very many guys that were going to get through Leon. And I'll be damned. I don't know. It was me. You said it a few times. Bedtime MMA said it a few times. Other than that, I genuinely do not know a person in the world that had Belal Muhammad to win. You know,
let me tell you something, bro. Belal Muhammad, 9-fight win streak, bro. 9-fight win streak. He hasn't lost in 9 fights. Since 2019, he has not lost. Oh, 10 now?
I think it's 11 now, actually, because it was 10 going into the Leon fight, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he's on an 11 win streak.
No, that made it 10. That was the 10th one. I'm looking at it. I got it pulled up right now. My bad. I was got the no contest, and I got that confused. But, Ball, look, we're just going to glaze them like a donut. So if you're a cop and you're driving in the morning or working the night shift, you should love this episode. If you can't get any donuts, just listen to this because we're going to have a lot of glaze in this episode. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man, we are Muhammad maxing all the way through from top to bottom.
Sure.
And let me tell you about this. Go ahead.
And we was practicing. We've been practicing because guess what? We were the only people in the world that knew Belal Muhammad was him. He's him, you guys. You might have to put the facts on.
And let me tell you something else, dude. That random camera stare. I don't know if you've been seeing the memes or not, Jude, but I'm sure anybody else that's listening to the podcast has any interest in MMA. I'm sure they've seen the memes of the random camera stare. Like, the one with like Leon doing like the before Kamaru fight. He's like here, and he's just kind of like, boom, and he's just dead at the camera. and then Belal's just like posted up, man, and he's like walking, and he just, just dead camera stare, bro. And it's like the camera stare is undefeated. In the welterweight division, at least, the camera stare can't be beat. If you look at the camera, you're the new champion.
And really with that win by Belal, it was convincing enough. I think that you could go number 1 pound for pound fighter in the UFC right now. I mean, you look at his win streak, you look at the way he's won, any street fight, he's winning. I mean, he's going to ground control you for a whole street fight. And I mean, nobody can go with him. Nobody's got that pace in the streets. So to me, he's the number 1 pound for pound. I think he's our only hope for Islam to be dethroned. It is if he went down and fought Islam. Couldn't think of that.
The thing is Islam has been talking about moving up to 170 to become a double champ.
I hear that.
The problem now, though, I don't think, and I said this in a previous episode, I want to say it was before 302 when Poirier Makhachev happened. It was either before or it was the after episode. It was our recap episode or it was our breakdown. It's one of those two. It was either recap or preview. But I remember saying in one of those episodes that I think the only person that could dethrone Islam Makhachev is Belal Muhammad.
I mean, and it don't sound
That'd be
people
funny.
just,
I got
yeah.
I got more hate mail than I've ever received in my life for making such a quote. And now Bilal's a welterweight champ, and I'm kind of like I'm scrolling through, man, like reading a lot of MMA news because that's what I do in my free time. You know, when I'm on lunch, I'm kind of studying and stuff, trying to keep the podcast rolling. You know, make sure my brain is fully fed on what I'm going to be talking about throughout the week. You know, so I'm doing my research and stuff, man, and I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy to me because Belal has been training with Khabib now for a fair amount of time. Obviously, Islam and Khabib are like this, you know, the Dagestanis, bro, the stanky people, bro. They could fight, but they all are like they're together as hell. Like I wish America was half as together as the Dagestanis are, bro. Like they all got each other's back. But that's beside the point. Like because that Belal has been in all these training sessions, like even previous to 302, Belal was training with Islam with wrestling and stuff before Islam went in there and fought Poirier. So for these guys training together so much and Belal having such respect for Khabib, does that actually roll over and make this welterweight move up for Islam not actually happen? Is there a thing that is stopping that due to the relationship between those guys, between Khabib and Belal? Because it doesn't matter how you talk about MMA, no matter what, whether you glaze the guy or you hate the guy, Khabib is, I don't consider him the greatest, but I consider him certainly one of the greatest fighters in the UFC octagon.
He's no doubt more than a rising star. There's no doubt about that. But you
Like
have a really good point.
Khabib is one of the greatest to ever do it.
Oh, you're saying Habib?
Okay, yeah, Khabib.
My bad. Yeah. He's definitely probably somewhere on everybody's GOAT list. He probably should be on everybody's GOAT list. And hate him or love him, you gotta have
top 5 in your GOAT list, bro. You're wrong. Like no
matter
how you look at it.
I don't know quite top 5, but he's definitely on that top 10 of all time list. And I mean, that's a debate for another episode. But you do have a solid point there, and that's something I didn't think about at all. You know, Belal and Muhammad, Belal Muhammad and Islam training together. That's a solid point because I didn't even think about that and the move up and everything because they definitely seem to be somewhat close. I mean, when you train with somebody every day, I mean, people fight in their gym and stuff. It happens, but that does make things more complicated. And that's something that people should think about that I haven't thought about personally. So
yeah, exactly. And honestly, like I'm pretty sure that we're the first MMA like podcasting media source at least to cover this. That's why it was so important for me to bring up was the fact that these guys have such a tight knit relationship. I don't think that Belal will fight Islam. And I don't think that Islam's even willing to fight Belal. And it's not because one guy has so much higher of a skill set than the other. Because quite frankly, I think that Belal might have a shot at handling around with Islam on the ground. And the way, first of all, we've never seen Belal Muhammad strike the way that he did against
and that's what I was going to say.
Striking was freaking A1 top notch. Like, I've never seen Belal Muhammad on the feet be as good as he was. And not only that, like the way this dude was setting up, man, like he's throwing the jab and he's just coming down straight into the takedown and dumping Leon on his head, bro. Just literally made Leon. It almost looked like that we had John Jones versus Alexandre Pantoja.
And you know what I think?
265 champ and the 125 champ were fighting is what it looked to me like.
You know what I think though happened really, and nothing not taken away from Belal because this is Muhammad Max thing, so you know nothing to take away from him. But I honestly think what happened is the same thing that happened in a lot of DC's fights. You saw that DC was a great striker, but it wasn't necessarily because he was the greatest striker ever. When you have that element, that takedown, you saw Muhammad literally maxing on Leon Edwards. He was just picking him up like he was nothing and just slamming him. And I think adding that element is what made his striking be able to compete with Leon because Leon's got to respect the takedown. He's got to know, hey, this guy can throw me around. And that adds a whole nother dimension to his game. He honestly might be the most well-rounded on the UFC roster at the moment.
But nobody wants to admit that. And honest to God, bro, honest to God, even though he's the champion of the UFC, I feel bad for Belal Muhammad. Because even as the champion, he's still not getting equal respect to what he deserves. He's not reaching those levels that I think that Belal Muhammad needs to be seen at. First of all, he's 23-3 and was on a 9-fight win streak. And you could have given him a title shot after he beat Gilbert Burns, after he beat multiple other contenders that are big names that he has beat. If you go look at Belal Muhammad, he's created a fairly well-rounded resume for himself. I think that there's no way you look at Belal Muhammad and be like, oh, at least in his recent win streak, and you look at it and it's like, oh, that was a fluky win, or oh, he should have beat that guy, or oh, that guy was genuinely better than Belal. Belal just got lucky. I don't think that there's really that many fights that you could say that about in his win streak, and you damn sure can't say it about Leon. Belal Muhammad beat Leon Edwards like it was easy work. Like it literally looked like whenever Sean O'Malley fought, what was the dude's name, bro? That stepped in on short notice from like the WEC.
Oh yeah, he had the green hair and everything.
Yeah,
he got beat down every round.
I can't think of his name.
I'll go pull him up. You can keep talking.
I think it's Munitos or some shit like that. Like I don't
yeah, it's Munoz, but I don't remember his first name. I'll find go.
Pedro? Is it Pedro Munoz?
I don't think so. It is. I think. Wait, no, that's his no contest. That's his no contest win.
I don't know. Pull up his stats though, but that's what that fight looked like though.
It was Chris Moutinho.
Yes, that's him. But I don't know why I'm mind blank. Couldn't get that name to my head.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, but that dude he took a beating.
But listen, that proves that outside the octagon is real, raw, uncut, true blue footage. We're not gonna go edit that out, make us look like we're superstars and know everything we're talking about. Sometimes we have slip. We're human beings, man, but we love what we do and we love what we talk about. So that's why we're gonna do this shit, and we're doing it for you guys. So
you watch me get kicked in the leg live, and if you haven't, you need to go check that out. You watch Charleston get chinned by his water bottle. We don't cut that stuff out. So I mean, Charleston took a beat down by his water bottle, and I got beat down by an actual MMA fighter. But I mean, look, we're on the same level. We're both taking beatings in some form or another.
I'm telling you, bro. And we're beating up on the podcast world right now, bro. Our numbers are incredible. We're so far ahead of pace of what I expected us to be at now to where we are. You know, I expected some of the things that we have now to have been a year down the road, you know, and we're here and we're 3 months into this thing. One thing is Belal Muhammad being champion. I didn't think I would ever fucking talk about that on the podcast. And I apologize for using that word. I do try to stay away from vulgarity typically, but Belal Muhammad being champion just blows my mind so bad that I can't even get over it, bro. Like I like
still have it.
Times the day after that Sunday, the day after, whenever we were moving my shit, like how many times were we in the truck moving the rest of my stuff, and I would just look at it and just be like, dude, Belal Muhammad is welterweight champ. Like I made money off of it. I literally had on DraftKings Belal Muhammad to win by decision. And I was like, yeah, well, whatever. If he wins, it's gonna be by decision, but he's probably not gonna win. It's whatever. But I was set in my heart that he was. Like you couldn't have told me going into that fight that Belal Muhammad was gonna lose. I would have told you to shut the hell up. Like, because I couldn't accept that bad energy from my boy Belal. And he went out there and he proved me right.
We had just already took the beating. I didn't like necessarily disagree on the podcast or anything, but on the picks I did pick Leon, and it's just because, you know, I've been let down. My heart's been broke so many times recently, man, and the whole Dustin Poirier thing, it got me. I was like, I can't pick who I want and who's one of my dreams anymore, so I had to stop. But Muhammad maxing it, he maxed out and he got the win. So
yeah, dude, Belal nuts, bro. Like, oh my god, man! Like I can't get over it. Like head in my hands and everything. Like you saw, that's the one I really wish we'd had the camera for the live reactions, bro. Because the whole time I'm like up to my TV, bro. I'm right here, like watching the fight, dude. Like I'm there. Like I'm in the octagon with that dude. Like I'm fighting with Belal, for Belal, and behind Belal. And I don't know what it was, man. I don't know what it was. What makes me like Belal so much? I think it's just the fact that He just genuinely gets wins by decision, and people shit on him for it, but he doesn't care. I think that's the main reason why I like him is the fact it's like, oh, you're a boring fighter, your style's so boring, and he's just like 10-fight win streak. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really do anything. Nobody's gonna beat him. Nobody's gonna decall him. Who's gonna beat him? Who's gonna beat him? Throw him somebody a beat. He's fought every style fighter, and he can't be beat. So I mean, at the end of the day, do all of these winning by decision? No, but who's gonna beat him? And you gotta respect that to an extent. It's his game, and he's making it his game. And it's his octagon when he steps in, and it's his fight to go to decision. And he's gonna win every time. So as simple as that.
Yeah, dude. If you get to the chair, first of all, another thing that we haven't talked about Belal yet, and if we're gonna do Muhammad maxing, we got to talk about how this guy maxes out his freaking cardio for every fight, because he was dumping Leon, like grabbing Leon, picking Leon up over his shoulder, dumping him. And sure, that's something you see like sometimes, like Marab is one of the guys that does it a lot, really effectively. Other than Marab, the only other person that I can name off the top of my head that's going to dump people that many times over and over and over into the championship rounds like that is Belal. And people were like, oh, yeah, Belal's got good cardio, whatever. It's not good enough to keep up with Leon Edwards. Leon's going to outstrike him, outgrapple him. Nothing that the people that were for Leon Edwards expected happened. Nothing. And another thing, man. Another thing that just bothers me is the whole headshot dead. And you didn't do shit. You got outstruck by a wrestler, not once, but twice. And not, okay, first of all, getting outstruck by Belal Muhammad is embarrassing. I off the top of my head, I can't name another fighter that's ever had that happen. You know what else happened to Leon Edwards? He got outstruck by Colby Covington. I don't think Colby Covington's ever landed more than 40 strikes ever. Like, you know? Like, and Colby Covington goes into a 5-round fight against the champion and outstrikes a guy that is supposedly the most well-rounded welterweight that they have. And Colby Covington goes in there. Some people might even argue that Colby won. I thought it was too damn boring of a fight to tell. I thought they both should have lost, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Leon got crowned the champion still. Yeah. And Belal goes in there and Belal walked him, man. Like, first of all, and this is something that you said while we were watching the fight together Saturday. This is something that you said to me. At the very beginning of the fight, you say, dude, look at that. Belal Muhammad is walking Leon Edwards down right now. Leon is on his back foot. Leon is backing up the whole time. And what happened progressively throughout the entirety of the remainder of the fight? Leon fought off his back foot the entire time. And the rare occasions that he didn't, it was the 2 times in the 4th round, I think. There was one, and in the 2nd or 3rd, there was one where Leon got the back. Leon got his back.
Which was wild to me that Leon, he actually did do solid on the ground. That was kind of shocking, honestly. Like, he did better than I expected on the ground. But, yeah, he got walked down the whole fight. You know, something I was going to say, though, is, you know, Colby Covington, honestly, now that I think about it, Colby Covington is like the American dollar store version of Belal. I mean, he's like the whitewashed dollar store version of Ball. He's like Ball, but with all 0 stats. You know, that's pretty much who Colby Covington is, to be quite honest. And I've been very open. You know, if I ever see Colby Covington on the streets, you know, that's the one MMA fighter I'm not scared of. You know, it's on site with Colby Covington. So if we ever get big enough to make a UFC event, I'm a Sean Strickland. And you just got to trust. So you just get us there, and I'll do the work. I mean, you saw me take the leg kick. I'm not saying I'm going to win, but I'm not scared. So I'm ready.
I don't think Colby Covington has the balls to spar any YouTubers or anything like that, like Strickland does.
Oh, you don't have to have the balls. I'm going to jump on him, son. It's bare knuckle.
Dude, I'm talking about, though, like say like we were at like a point of listening right now to where all these MMA guys are listening to us, all these fighters, UFC guys and all that shit. Colby theoretically DMs us, hey, let's set up to come to my gym, whatever. He would not do that.
No. Sean
Strickland, absolutely. Sure. We've seen Sean Strickland do it with 10, 15, 20 different people. Like, Sean Strickland wants to spar David Goggins, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, he's been doing Navy SEALs. Speaking of, he destroyed a Navy SEAL recently.
He did.
But all respect to to the guys that's willing to get in there, and I'm not saying that I would beat any MMA fighter. I obviously wouldn't stand the chance. I would get destroyed, and Colby Covington probably would beat me. But if there's anyone that I think that I could stand in with against, is Colby. And I actually personally dislike Colby Covington because of his remarks to Louisiana. So I actually have a reason to fight him. Other than that, I wouldn't fight an MMA fighter. I don't think I could beat him, but I'm just not scared of him, So not trying to be a keyboard warrior or anything, but,
Colby Covington, I mean, if you see this at outside the octagon pod _, man.
We'll get this all good.
We'll link it up. Jude jump in the ring, man. He's not scared.
Oh man, if you don't believe that I'll jump in the ring, go watch 2 episodes ago. I mean, I'm not scared to be punched. I'm cool with it. Cool story at least. I could tell it on the podcast. So, I might be telling it with stitches in my eye and stuff, but I'm cool with that. Cool with story.
Stitches, dude.
Nah, he wouldn't give me.
I don't think he's ever given it. I don't even think he's ever given anybody a busted lip, bro.
Honestly, I don't know. He's definitely, somebody gave him eyeliner. There's no doubt about that. He definitely wears mascara. That's the only thing he's been given at least. So there's that. But as long as he don't try to put the eyeliner on me or any makeup, I'm down for sure. But I'm not really for the mascara that he's always wearing. So.
Hell yeah, man.
He definitely wears it. I know you know what I mean, bro. He's got
most
definitely. He's 100%.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's like Green Day or something, yeah.
So look, we're I think we kind of covered just about everything that I wanted to talk about. You got anything else on your mind that you kind of want to say to anybody?
I just wanted to close out, and I wanted to say this earlier in the episode. I got a few closing remarks, but here's how I want to start, and it is: we only have winners on this podcast. Liz Carmouche, winner. Brad Tate's following's going up. Kurt Hollaball, winner. He should be coming on at some point in the future. We're trying to set that up really hard. We got Miranda Maverick, of course, winner. We just have winner after winner after winner. So if you want to hear from winners and not losers like Colby Covington, subscribe to this podcast. Just tune in, follow the Instagram, all that good stuff. Support us. Use code OTO10 and support Miranda at prowlerpickles.com. Congratulations to all those people. Thank you for watching. We love our viewers, and I hope that you like this episode of Muhammad Maxing. It was a pleasure doing this with you.
Man, this has been great, bro. It's been an honor. I know it's not necessarily the typical way in which we go about doing things, but here we are, we're on Zoom. And just to, the reason why I kind of was ready to wrap it up, I think we've been going on for just under 30 minutes at this point, maybe a little over, who knows, who cares. But just to prove to you guys that the outside the octagon guys are very dedicated to our craft. I just want you to see what time it is. Well,
he got all the females at his location on, man. He just cooked himself. One thing though that I was gonna say also.
It is 12:42 a.m. It's almost 1 a.m. I've got to be up and go to work tomorrow. And I set time aside and I dedicate myself towards this craft. And I hope that you guys out there that are listening honestly do understand that. And I hope you respect the work that we do. And if you do, or if you don't, please let us know. It's not going to hurt my feelings to criticize me in the comments. I'm going to respond to you. And if you're talking shit, I might talk a little bit back. But I will appreciate your criticism and your praise. It doesn't matter how you bring it to me. Tell me how you feel about the podcast. We'll do our best to make it better for you guys. Another thing, though, to build off what Jude was saying, all we do around here is win. All we have are winners. And with that being said, I'd like to show you guys a little something that happened a couple weekends ago. Right there, you have the OTO parlay in itself. Kurt Hollaball money line and Miranda Maverick by decision. Look at there. Get paid, my boy. We do. All I do is win. All our guests do is win. All Jude do is win. And all you do is win. Let's go, baby.
One more thing I want to say is we might be doing one more episode in Zoom, but we are going to get more episodes from the new crib coming very soon. We upgraded the studio, man, and I'm really excited to get into the new crib and get our new setup going and come back for in person because, Zoom's cool and all, but truck technical difficulties and everything forced it on us. So I am ready to get back, man, get back ahead of schedule and get you guys some more content. So just know we're working hard, as he said, and I just wanted to let y'all guys know new crib's getting set up and we'll have some episodes in person coming soon. Hopefully some more interviews.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to come through with the interviews. You guys already know. Stay fired up with it. Actually might make a little phone call this week. We might have a really, really, really cool guest on, and we might just drop that sucker Sunday.
I don't even know who that is. So
yeah, this is something that hasn't been discussed even with Jude yet.
So you are hearing it before me.
It could happen. No guarantees. No guarantees, because the person that we're in inquiries with right now, a very, very, very busy man. But stay on the lookout. This would be an incredible episode. I think with that said, I think Jude might have just picked up on it.
Yeah. We did talk about it. Never mind.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit. But one of these days I've got off throughout the week. I'm going to get in touch with him. Maybe try to get some minute details, get something set up, and we might go check something out, So you guys might see a really, really, really cool episode very soon. But listen, man, Jude, I as always, brother, I really appreciate you, man. You're an incredible co-host. You stuck by my side through this all, man, through the thick, the thin, the fire, the flames, man, and the rain, bro. You've been there, bro. We've been making shit happen. We've been making waves, bro. We've been talking everything we needed to talk about. We cover what topics we want to cover. People are seeming like they tend to enjoy what we're doing right now. So hopefully you and I will be able to keep the same wave going on, man. And I genuinely want you to know on the air that I do appreciate you, and you're an incredible person. You're an incredible co-host.
And with that being said, I'm gonna say the same thing. I believe you're the Belal Muhammad of guest right now. Underrated. That's what I'm saying. You're really good, but you're underrated. And I felt like that was a good way to close out the episode named Muhammad Maxing. So, I had to. But yeah.
Dude, I love it, man. All smiles, bro. You can't tell, bro. All smiles. Like I don't know, man. Like something about doing this podcast just, first of all, it just brings so much joy to me. And second of all, this is going to be the last thing I say. And we're going to close this bad boy out. So if you got something else, go ahead and say it.
Oh, that's a little Louisiana goodbye.
I know, bro. I know.
We just keep having stuff come to our mind, man.
And news.
They didn't even pick up.
Remember the name Muhammad. That son of a gun right there is the new welterweight champion of the world. Don't you freaking forget it. And that's going to be a wrap for the Outside the Octagon podcast. Thank you for listening. Muhammad Maxing is over. Our Instagram and stuff like that will pop up at the end of the video as always. If you guys stuck around, cool. If not, you probably missed out on a lot of shit, but that's your fault. Maybe you'll stick around for the next one. Appreciate you, Jude.